Time for us now to link up with Yusuf Farah, who is away in Gilgil town, Gilgil constituency, and particularly the Kenya Forest Service College. This is where the graduation for those forest rangers will be happening tomorrow, and it will be graced by His Excellency President William Ruto. Farah, if you can hear me, just quickly bring us up to date on the preparations ahead of that day tomorrow. Farah.
Indeed, a very good evening to you, John Jacob Kioria, back at the Broadcasting House. We are coming to you live from the Forest Law Enforcement Academy that is domiciled at the National Youth Service here at Gilgil, where tomorrow we're expecting the Kenya Forest Service Passing Out Parade of more than 500 officers, that is cadet and foresters, that will be passing out tomorrow. Of course, this is an event that will be graced by none other than His Excellency President William Ruto. And right now, just to get a gist of what to expect tomorrow, I'm joined by Madam Charity Munyasia, who is the Senior Deputy Chief Conservator of Forest. Madam, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Let's talk about this passing out parade that we're expecting tomorrow. Yes. How many officers are we expecting to graduate tomorrow?
Thank you, Yusuf, and thank you for coming to see what we'll be doing tomorrow. We have 567 officers who are passing out tomorrow. And out of these 567 officers, we have 103 cadets, 102 cadets, and then the others are foresters. And this number is a continuation of the number that His Excellency the President gave us 2 years ago, that we employ the forest officers and rangers to protect the forest and the foresters to ensure that we are developing the forest in order to achieve the 15 billion tree planting, and so that we achieve the 30% tree cover by 2032. Okay. So this is still in the agenda of us, Kenya, achieving 30% tree cover by 2032.
Okay.
Yes.
Given that these people who will be interacting with trees and the nature, and of course these are the nature's conservators, the ones who take care of the environment that we enjoy even as we try to mitigate effects of climate change. Yes. Of course there's some training that they go through, so perhaps what areas are they trained on?
They have been trained on law enforcement, that is the Forest Conservation and Management Act 2016, how to implement that law in the field. And because we have two groups, one group is focusing on the protection of the forest to ensure that the Kenyans are not destroying the existing forest. Because for us to achieve the 30%, we need first to protect what we have, as in grow more trees. And then the other group of the foresters, which is the big group, it is the team that has got the technical know-how. They have been trained at the Kenya Forest College, Rondiani. They have diplomas in forestry, and these are the people who now be in charge of forest areas. They are the people who will be advising the Kenyans in their farms and in other places on how to grow the trees. Because to achieve the 30% tree cover, you really need technical know-how, and these officers have the technical know-how. Now, on the part of paramilitary training, it is very essential, because when you are dealing with protecting the forest, like you arrest people, you have to know how to take them to the police station. And we had cases whereby our officers have even been cut with pangas by the roam breakers. When the economy is not good in the country, people look for the nearest alternative of getting resources, and the forest always becomes a victim. And therefore, for the officers to be effective in protecting the forests, they need to be trained on paramilitary issues, how to handle a lawbreaker, how to ensure that they protect themselves and the forest from being destroyed. And also, it is a course that makes sure that the officers are resilient, they can handle any situation, when inside the forest or outside the forest. Yeah. That's very key for these officers, because like the maneuvers which they go and do in the forest, they really help them to protect the forest and to protect themselves. And the kind of training they have received, the paramilitary training, it's not like the military training. It is para, meaning they are being trained not to, if you are with a gun, don't kill, but disable. So if you are really coming so close, they can shoot your leg so that they disable you from moving. So that's the kind of training they have been going through. And we believe through our Forest Law Enforcement Academy, which is hosted here by National Youth Service, we are requested for a place here in National Youth Service because our place is small at Kenya Forest College, Rondiani. And also with this goal of 30% tree cover by 2032, and the employment of the foresters by the Kenya Forest Service and by the county governments and the NGOs in the country, so many people, so many Kenyans have shown interest in training in forestry because our college was actually shrinking. We had just 1,090 students, but right now at Kenya Forest College Rondiani we have 506 students who are training in issues forestry. So the awareness in the country of planting trees, growing trees, it has really come up, and we are one sector that has seriously benefited in this government because we really feel the government, or His Excellency the President, is focusing on where it matters, because environment is the bedrock of all development in this nation. Environment is the bedrock of food security, because if we do not have our catchment areas, which improves the micro-catchment for the food security, because when the micro-catchment is affected, you affect the food production. So environment is the bedrock of any development in the country. When you look at the water scarcity, like when you have the drought, cows are dying, people are dying, and then even the dams, where we get the hydroelectric power. So forestry and such and environment issues, if you address them, you've addressed everything in the country. You address the manufacturing, you address food security, you address the health of your people, you address so many things. So as a sector, we are very happy, and as Kenya Forest Service, we are looking forward to tomorrow when we have our His Excellency the President coming here to be hosted by our Chief Conservator of Forest and our PS and our CS on Nakuru.
Okay. I'm glad you talked about the forest cover and the ambition to have 15 billion trees by 2032. Yes. Perhaps as far as forest cover and tree cover is concerned, where are we? And now that these officers, the cadets and the foresters are graduating tomorrow, which areas can they go and assist to ensure that this goal is achieved by the set target or even before that time?
Thank you. As at the 2021 forest survey, because for you to get the figure, the tree cover and the forest cover, it is serious.
And of course, the continuation of that interview will also air in the course before the commencement of the ceremony tomorrow. We're back in studio to continue with our conversation.